Jai-Ho woke up early. Today was selection day. His hand shook as he put on his best clothes. Every child in the village knew what selection day meant. Government people would come to test them. They were looking for special children who could bond with beasts. Jai-Ho, breakfast is ready, his mother called from downstairs. Jai-Ho looked at himself in the small mirror. He was 12 years old, thin, with dark hair that never stayed neat. Nothing special about him. Not like the Beastlords he saw on video screens. Those were special people. At breakfast, his father talked about farm work, but Jai-Ho couldn't listen. His stomach felt tight. "It's just a test," his mother said, touching his hand. "No one from our village has ever been chosen. Just do your best." Their village was small, far from the big cities where important things happened, far from the war with the aliens called the Vora. Here, people farmed and lived quiet lives. After breakfast, all village children walked to the town square. 3 large black vehicles waited there. Men and women in gray uniforms set up testing machines. "Line up by age," a tall woman announced. Her voice was not friendly. Jai-Ho stood in line with the other 12-year-olds. A boy named Da pushed him from behind. "Scared, farm boy," Da whispered. "Maybe they'll bond you with a chicken." Jai-Ho said nothing. Da's father was the village leader. Da always thought he was better than everyone. One by one, children entered a small tent for testing. Some came out smiling. Others looked sad. A few cried. When Jai-Ho's turn came, he entered the tent. Inside, a man sat behind a strange machine with many lights. "Sit," the man said, pointing to a chair. He didn't look up from his screen. Jai-Ho sat. The man placed a metal band around Jai-Ho's head. It felt cold. "This won't hurt," the man said. "Just look at the screen and think about the pictures you see." The screen lit up. Jai-Ho saw pictures of different animals. Some were earth animals. Others were strange creatures he had never seen before. The beasts. Giant creatures, made by scientists to fight the alien Vora. The machine made quiet beeping sounds. Jai-Ho tried to stay calm. "Just look at the pictures," he told himself. Suddenly, the machine beeped very loudly. The man looked up, surprised. He pressed buttons quickly. "Stay still," he ordered. He spoke into a small device on his wrist. "Get the director. Now." Jai-Ho's heart beat faster. Had he done something wrong? A moment later, a woman entered the tent. She wore a uniform with many badges. She looked at the machine, then at Jai-Ho. "Run the test again," she said. The test ran again. More beeping. The woman's eyes widened. "What's your name, boy?" she asked. "Jai-Ho, Mom." "Jai-Ho," she repeated. "Do you know what we found?" He shook his head. "You have the highest neural compatibility we've ever recorded. Ever." She smiled, but her smile didn't seem kind. "You're going to be very important." "I don't understand," Jai-Ho said. "You have a special brain. It can connect with beasts better than anyone we've tested. Do you know what that means?" Before Jai-Ho could answer, more people entered the tent. They talked quickly, using words Jai-Ho didn't understand. "Get his parents' consent," the director said. "We leave with him today." "Today?" Jai-Ho asked. "But my parents?" "Will be informed," she said. "This isn't optional, Jai-Ho. Your country needs you." An hour later, Jai-Ho stood outside his home. His mother cried while his father argued with the officials. "He's just a boy." "He's a perfect neural match," the director said. "1 in a million. He'll be trained as a Beastlord at the academy." "When will he come home?" his mother asked. The director didn't answer that question. Instead, she put a hand on Jai-Ho's shoulder. "You'll be part of something greater than this village. You'll help save humanity." As the black vehicle drove away, Jai-Ho watched his village disappear. He didn't know when, or if, he would see it again. 3 years passed quickly at the academy. Jai-Ho learned many things: how to fight, how to think fast, and how the neural sync worked. The academy was big and cold, with metal walls and many rules. Jiho missed his village, but he made a few friends. Today was the most important day of his life. Bonding Day. Jiho stood in the white room they called the bonding chamber. His hands were sweaty. His heart beat fast. Today, he would meet his beast, the creature he would share his mind with. "Stand still," said Master Ta. He was tall and had a scar across his face. "Your beast will sense your fear." "Yes, Master," Jiho said. He was 15 now, taller and stronger than the boy from the village, but still afraid. Master Tay touched a panel on the wall. "This beast is special, a female thunder lizard, very powerful, very dangerous." Jiho nodded. Thunder lizards were the biggest, strongest beasts. Only the best handlers worked with them. "She has rejected 12 candidates before you," Master Ta said. His face was serious. "If she rejects you too, step back slowly. Do not run." A door opened on the far side of the room. Jiho held his breath. The beast entered. She was huge, taller than 3 men. Her body was covered in thick, armored scales that shone with blues and greens. Her tail could knock down a wall with one swing. Sharp teeth filled her mouth, but it was her eyes that caught Jiho's attention. Large, golden eyes that looked right at him. Eyes that seemed smart, aware. "Begin the sync," Master Tay ordered. A technician pressed buttons on a computer. Jiho felt the neural implant at the base of his skull grow warm. This small device would connect his mind to the beasts. "Step forward," Master Ta said. Jiho walked toward the thunder lizard. She watched him, her head tilted. She didn't move. Then something strange happened. Jiho felt a presence in his mind, like someone standing behind him, but inside his head. It felt curious, careful, powerful. The beast took a step forward. People behind the glass windows watched closely. This beast had hurt handlers before. Jiho remembered the training. He was supposed to stand still and let the neural sync do its work, but something else felt right. He lifted his hand, palm out, toward the beast. "What are you doing?" Master Ta hissed. "Follow protocol." Jiho ignored him. The presence in his mind grew stronger. It felt like a question. "Hello," Jiho whispered. The thunder lizard moved closer. Her head was now right in front of Jiho. She could eat him in one bite. Instead, she lowered her massive head to his hand. The moment they touched, Jiho's world exploded. Suddenly, he could smell everything in the room. He could hear hearts beating behind the walls. He could feel the vibrations in the floor. The beast's senses flooded into him. And she could feel what he felt. His memories, his thoughts, his feelings. "The sync ratio is off the charts," someone said behind him. "I've never seen numbers this high." Jiho barely heard them. He was lost in the connection. He could feel the beast's thoughts, not in words, but in feelings and pictures. She was alone. She was proud. She was strong. "She needs a name," Master Ta said, his voice softer now. Jiho looked at the beautiful patterns on her scales. They reminded him of something from his village. "Nabi," he said. "Her name is Nabi." It meant butterfly in his language. The beast, Nabi, made a rumbling sound. Through their connection, Jiho felt her approval. "The bonding is complete," Master Tay announced. Trainee Jiho and Beast Nabi are now a unit. As they left the bonding chamber, Jiho realized he wasn't just Jiho anymore. And Nabi wasn't just a beast. They were something new together. Through their connection, he felt her curiosity about the world through his eyes. He felt her strength become his strength. For the first time since leaving his village, Jiho didn't feel alone. "We'll start training tomorrow," Master Ta said. "Be ready." Jiho nodded, but he was already having a silent conversation with Nabi. Her thoughts weren't like human thoughts. They were deeper, older somehow. And she had secrets, Secrets that would change everything Jai-Ho thought he knew. Again, Han Sol ordered. Faster this time. Jai-Ho nodded, sweat running down his face. He and Nabi had been training for 6 hours straight. His muscles hurt. His mind felt tired from the deep neural connection. Han Sol was the toughest trainer at the academy. She was not much older than Jai-Ho, maybe 25. But she had already fought in many battles against the Vora. The scar on her neck showed how close she had come to death. Ready, Nabi, Jai-Ho thought. Through their neural link, he felt her answer. She was tired too, but ready. The training room was huge, with high ceilings and special walls that could take a thunder lizard's strength. Targets moved around the room, looking like the alien Vora. Some flew, some crawled, some ran fast. Jai-Ho took a deep breath. He closed his eyes. Then he opened his mind fully to Nabi. The world changed. Now he saw through her eyes too. He felt her powerful muscles. He smelled things humans could not smell. And Nabi gained his human thoughts, his plans, his knowledge. They moved as one. Nabi's huge body jumped higher than seemed possible. Jai-Ho guided her, picking targets. Left claw for the flying target. Tail swing for the 3 ground targets. A bite for the last one. 6 seconds. 6 targets destroyed. Better, Han Sol said. She almost smiled. Your sync ratio is still off the charts. Never seen anything like it. In the 3 months since bonding day, Jai-Ho and Nabi had become famous at the academy. Other handlers could link with their beasts, but not like this. Most handlers gave commands. Jai-Ho and Nabi shared everything. Take a break, Han Sol said. You've earned it. As Jai-Ho sat on a bench, drinking water, someone sat next to him. It was Su Min, another handler in training. She was small and quiet. Her beast was a wolf hybrid named Duri. That was amazing, she said. I wish Duri and I could move like that. Jai-Ho smiled. How is your training going? Su Min looked down. Not good. Duri is afraid all the time. I can feel it through our link. The trainers say if we don't improve, they might. She didn't finish. Jai-Ho knew what she meant. Failed beasts were retired. No one knew exactly what that meant, but the beasts never came back. Maybe I can help, Jai-Ho said. Nabi and I could train with you. Really, Master Ta won't like that. We'll find a way. Later that night, Jai-Ho and Nabi met Su Min and Duri in a small training room. No trainers watched them here. Duri was beautiful, with silver-gray fur and intelligent eyes. But Jai-Ho could see the fear in those eyes. May I? Jai-Ho asked, reaching toward Duri slowly. Su Min nodded. Jai-Ho touched Duri's head gently. Through his hand, he sent calming feelings. He had learned he could sometimes share emotions this way. The problem isn't Duri, Jai-Ho said after a while. The problem is what they want Duri to be. What do you mean? Su Min asked. They train all beasts the same way, but they're different. Nabi is strong and direct. Duri is smart and fast. Don't fight like Nabi fights. Find your own way. For 2 hours, they trained together. By the end, Su Min and Duri moved better together. Not like Jai-Ho and Nabi, but in their own way. Quick, smart, using Duri's speed. Thank you, Su Min said as they finished. As they left, Han Sol stepped out from the shadows. Jai-Ho froze. They would be punished for training alone. But Han Sol just nodded. Interesting approach. Meet me tomorrow night. Same time. I want to show you something. Over the next weeks, Han Sol taught Jai-Ho and Su Min things other trainers never showed. How to deepen the neural link. How to share not just thoughts, but deeper feelings. Why are you helping us? Jai-Ho asked one night. Han Sol looked at him for a long time. Because you see the beasts as partners, not weapons. That's rare. And important. Isn't that how everyone sees them? No, Han Sol said. And soon you'll learn why that matters. There's a war coming, Jai-Ho. Not just with the Vora. Before Jai-Ho could ask what she meant, alarms sounded throughout the academy. All handlers report for briefing, a voice announced. Priority mission. This is not a drill. Hansol's face turned serious. It's starting sooner than I thought. Stay close to me, both of you. The transport ship shook as it entered the planet's atmosphere. Ji-Ho sat with 5 other young handlers, including Sumin. None of them had ever been in a real battle before. They were still students, not soldiers. Hansol stood at the front of the ship. Listen carefully, she said. The mining colony on Nevis 4 is under attack. The Vora broke through our defenses 3 hours ago. She touched a screen, showing a map of a small colony. There are still 200 workers trapped in these buildings. Our job is to get them out. But we're just trainees, a boy named Yum-Jae said. His beast was a massive bear-like creature. We're not ready. Ready or not, those people need help, Hansol said. Senior Beastlords are already on the ground, but they need backup. Remember your training. Jai-Ho felt Nabi's thoughts through their neural link. She wasn't in the ship with them. Beasts traveled in larger holds below. But she felt his fear and sent back feelings of strength. We can do this, Jai-Ho whispered to Sumin, who looked pale. The ship landed with a hard bump. The door opened, and hot air rushed in. They could hear explosions and strange screeching sounds. Sync with your beasts, Hansol ordered. Now, Jai-Ho closed his eyes. The neural link opened fully. Suddenly, he could feel Nabi's body as if it were his own. She was being released from her transport hold. She felt eager, ready. As they ran down the ramp, Jai-Ho saw the colony for the first time. Buildings were on fire. People ran screaming. And there were the Vora, tall, insect-like aliens with 4 arms and weapons that shot blue fire. Through his neural link, Jai-Ho guided Nabi toward him. She ran faster than seemed possible for something so large. When she reached him, Jai-Ho jumped, landing on her back where a special seat had been built. Now they were truly one. Together, they charged toward a building where miners were trapped. A Vora fighter appeared in front of them, its weapons aimed at Jai-Ho. Before it could fire, Nabi's tail smashed into it, sending it flying. This way, Jai-Ho called to Sumin. She and Duri raced beside them, the wolf beast moving like wind between burning pieces of metal. They reached the building. The door was blocked by fallen beams. Nabi, can you move those? Jai-Ho thought. In answer, Nabi's powerful claws gripped the metal beams, lifting them away. Inside, 20 miners huddled in fear. When they saw Nabi, they screamed. It's okay, Jai-Ho called. We're here to help. Follow us. As they led the miners out, Jai-Ho saw 3 senior Beastlords fighting a large group of Vora. They were losing. We should help them, Sumin said. Jai-Ho nodded. Get these people to the transport. We'll help the others. Nabi ran toward the battle. Jai-Ho could feel her excitement mixed with his fear. Through their neural link, he showed her where to strike, which enemies to hit first. They crashed into the fight like a storm. Nabi's claws slashed. Her tail swept enemies away. Jai-Ho felt every movement, as if it were his own body fighting. Then he felt pain, sharp and burning. A Vora weapon had hit Nabi's leg. Through their link, Jai-Ho felt her pain as his own. His leg burned even though it wasn't injured. Fall back, shouted one of the senior Beastlords. There are too many. But Jai-Ho saw miners running from another building, right toward the Vora. We can't, Jai-Ho said. He sent a mental image to Nabi, showing her what he wanted to do. Together, they charged into the largest group of Vora, creating a path for the miners to escape. Jai-Ho felt another hit, this time on Nabi's side. The pain made him gasp. Hansol appeared beside them on her beast, a sleek panther-like creature. That was either very brave or very stupid, she said as they fought side by side. When the last miner reached the transport, they finally retreated. Nabi limped, and Jiho felt every painful step. On the ship, a medic treated Nabi's wounds. Through their link, Jiho felt her pain ease. "You did well today," Hansol said, sitting next to him. "Both of you." "I felt everything she felt," Jiho said quietly. "Every wound." Hansol nodded. "That's the deepest kind of bond. Rare. The Academy will be very interested." "I saw something today," Jiho said. "One of the Vora. It saved a smaller one. Like a parent saving a child." "They're not just monsters, are they?" Hansol looked around to make sure no one could hear. "No, they're not. And that's something they don't teach at the Academy." Jiho woke up screaming. His heart beat fast. Sweat covered his body. The dream had been so real. He had been running through a forest, not as a human, but as something large and powerful. Other creatures like him ran beside him. They were free, happy. Then humans came with nets and guns. Pain, darkness. But it wasn't his dream. Jiho touched the neural implant at the base of his skull. Since the battle 3 weeks ago, strange things had been happening. He was having dreams that weren't his own. They were Nabi's dreams, or rather, her memories. But how could Nabi remember forests? She was born in a lab, created by scientists. Jiho got dressed quickly. He had to talk to Nabi. The beast quarters were in a separate building. Guards stood at the door. "I need to see my beast," Jiho said. "It's the middle of the night," the guard said. "Come back in the morning. Please, it's important, just for a few minutes." The guard looked at him for a moment, then nodded. 5 minutes. Nabi's room was large, with strong walls. She lay on a bed of special material that could hold her weight. When she saw Jiho, she lifted her head. Through their link, he felt her happiness. Jiho put his hand on her scales. "You're sending me dreams," he said quietly. "Memories. But they can't be yours. You were created in a lab." Nabi's eyes looked at him. Through their link, he felt her trying to show him something. More images came to his mind. Eggs hatching in the wild. Beasts teaching their young how to hunt. A life before humans. "That's not possible," Jiho whispered. "The Academy says all beasts were made by scientists to fight the Vora." Nabi pushed another image into his mind. Scientists taking eggs from nests, changing what was inside, adding human DNA. "They lied to us," Jiho said. He felt sick. "Beasts weren't created. You were changed. Taken." The door opened. "Time's up," the guard said. As Jiho walked back to his room, his mind raced. If the Academy lied about where beasts came from, what else did they lie about? The next morning, Jiho found Hansol in the training room. "I need to talk to you," he said. "About Nabi. About where beasts really come from." Hansol's face turned serious. She looked around to make sure no one could hear them. "Not here. Meet me in Training Room B at midnight. Come alone." That night, Jiho snuck out of his room. The halls were dark and quiet. When he reached Training Room B, Hansol was waiting. "Did anyone see you?" she asked. "No." Hansol touched a panel on the wall. A hidden door opened. "Follow me." They went down a narrow hall that Jiho had never seen before. At the end was a small room. 3 people sat around a table. One was Sumin, who looked nervous. "Jiho," Hansol said, "these people are part of what we call the Beast Liberation Front. We believe beasts deserve rights and freedom." An older man stood up. "I'm Dr. Min. I helped create the neural sync technology. It was never meant to control beasts. It was meant to communicate with them." "Nabi is sending me memories," Jiho said. "Memories of a time before humans." Dr. Min nodded. "Nabi is special. She's what we call a pure breed. Most beasts are heavily modified, but Nabi's DNA is almost natural. That's why your bond is so strong. The Academy says beasts were created to fight the Vora, Jai-Ho said. Another lie, Hansol said. Beasts existed on many planets. When we found them, we saw their strength, their intelligence. The military decided to use them as weapons. We believe the neural sync should be a partnership, Dr. Min said, not control. The beasts deserve their freedom. Why are you telling me this? Jai-Ho asked. Because your bond with Nabi is different, Hansol said. You don't control her. You work together. And because we need your help. With what? We have information that the government is planning something big, something terrible for the beasts, and for the Vora too. What can I do? Keep developing your bond with Nabi. Learn from her memories. And watch out for young Jai. He reports to Director Do Hyun. He's been watching you. As if on cue, alarms started blaring. Hansol's face went pale. We've been discovered. Run. All handlers report to the main hall immediately, the voice on the speakers said. Jai-Ho, Hansol, and the others froze. It might not be about us, Dr. Min whispered. Hansol shook her head. We can't take that chance. Ji-Ho, Su-Min, you two need to go to the main hall. Act normal. We'll find another way out. Jai-Ho nodded. He and Su-Min hurried through the hallways. Other handlers were also moving toward the main hall, looking confused. What do you think is happening? Su-Min asked. I don't know, Jai-Ho said. But I'm worried. When they entered the main hall, Jai-Ho saw Director Do Hyun standing on a platform. Next to him was a man in a government uniform with many medals. All the Academy's trainers stood in a line behind them. Tomorrow, Director Do Hyun announced, 10 of our top handlers and their beasts will join a special mission. For the first time ever, human leaders will meet with Vora leaders for peace talks. Whispers filled the room. Peace talks. After years of war. The following handlers have been selected for this important security detail, Director Do Hyun said. He began reading names. Handler Jai-Ho and Beast Nabi. Jai-Ho's heart jumped. Why would they choose trainees for such an important mission? Handler Su-Min and Beast Duri. Su-Min looked at Jai-Ho with wide eyes. Handler Young Jai and Beast Kang. Young Jai smiled. He always wanted to be important. After the announcement, Hansol found Ji-Ho in the hallway. This is not good, she whispered. It's a trap. A trap? For who? For everyone. The government doesn't want peace with the Vora. Then why have the meeting? I don't know yet, but be very careful. And stay close to Su-Min. The next morning, Jai-Ho, Su-Min, Young Jai, and 7 other handlers boarded a large ship with their beasts. Hansol was the only trainer who came with them. The peace talks were happening on a space station between human and Vora space. As their ship docked, Jai-Ho saw the Vora ship through a window. It was strange and beautiful, with curved shapes that looked like seashells. Remember, Director Do Hyun told them, your job is to protect our leaders. Nothing more. The peace meeting room was large and round. Human leaders sat on one side, Vora on the other. The Vora looked less scary up close. Yes, they had 4 arms and insect-like features, but their movements were graceful. Their eyes looked intelligent, sad, even. The handlers and beasts stood around the edges of the room. Through his neural link, Jai-Ho could feel Nabi's curiosity about the Vora. As the talks began, Jai-Ho noticed a small door behind the human leaders. It was partly hidden by a curtain. Guards kept going in and out. I'm going to see what's in that room, Jai-Ho told Su-Min through their private comms. That's against orders, she whispered back. Something isn't right. Cover for me. Jai-Ho slipped away while Director Do Hyun was talking to another handler. He found a service corridor that went behind the meeting room. When no one was looking, he opened the hidden door. Inside was a small room filled with screens. On the screens were weapons, planet-killing weapons aimed at the Vora homeworld. This isn't a peace talk, Jai-Ho realized. It's a distraction. Suddenly, the door opened. Yum-Jae stood there. Looking for something, he asked with a cold smile. Yum-Jae, listen. They're planning to attack the Vora homeworld. Millions will die. I know, Yum-Jae said. The Vora deserve it. No one deserves that, Jae-ho said. We need to warn them. Always so soft, Yum-Jae said. Director Do-hyun was right about you. He pressed a button on his wrist device. Alarm sounded. Attention all handlers. Director Do-hyun's voice said over the speakers. The Vora have hidden weapons. This was a trap. Attack now. Chaos erupted in the meeting room. Jae-ho ran back, pushing through confused people. He saw handlers ordering their beasts to attack the surprised Vora. It's a lie. Jae-ho shouted. The Vora aren't armed. No one listened. Through his link, he felt Nabi's confusion. Attack. Young-Jae ordered his beast Kang. The massive bear beast charged at the Vora. Nabi, protect them, Jae-ho thought. Nabi jumped between Kang and the Vora. Beasts never fought other beasts. It was forbidden. Handler Jae-ho was compromised. Director Do-hyun announced. Activate override protocol on Beast Nabi. Sudden pain shot through Jae-ho's neural implant. Nabi roared in agony. Through their link, Jae-ho felt something trying to break their connection. Run, Hansol shouted, appearing beside him. They're using the override to take control of Nabi. As Jae-ho's vision blurred from pain, he saw Soo-min and Duri running toward them. This way, Hansol said, grabbing Jae-ho's arm. We need to get to my ship. Jae-ho woke up in a small, dim room. His head hurt badly. The neural implant at the base of his skull felt hot, like it was burning his skin. Nabi, he called out, both with his voice and his mind. A warm feeling answered him. Relief washed over Jae-ho. Their bond was still there, but it felt different somehow. Weaker. The door opened. Hansol walked in, followed by Soo-min. You're awake, Hansol said. Good. We don't have much time. Where are we? Jae-ho asked, sitting up slowly. A safe place. A base for the Beast Liberation Front. Jae-ho looked around. The room was made of rough stone. It looked like they were underground. Nabi, where is she? In the next room, Soo-min said. She's okay. The override hurt her, but they couldn't break your bond. What happened after we left? The Vora delegates. Did they? Some died, Hansol said flatly. Others escaped with us. The government is calling it a Vora attack. They're using it as an excuse to launch a full-scale war. Jae-ho's stomach twisted. We have to stop them. Hansol nodded. That's why we brought you here. Come with me. They walked through rough stone tunnels. Jae-ho saw other humans, but also strange beings he had never seen before. Some looked like Vora, but different. Those are Vora civilians, Hansol explained. Different from the soldiers you fought. They entered a large room. In the center was Nabi, lying on a bed of soft material. When she saw Jae-ho, she made a happy rumbling sound. Jae-ho ran to her, putting his arms around her neck as best he could. Through their bond, he felt her joy, but also her pain. The override damaged your neural sync, said a voice behind him. Jae-ho turned to see a Vora standing there. This one was smaller than the others, with a strange device around its neck. This is Tal, Hansol said. He's a communication specialist. And our friend. The device on Tal's neck made his clicks and chirps into human words. Your bond with Nabi is special, Tal said. The strongest we've ever seen. That's why the override couldn't break it completely. You know about the neural sync? Jae-ho asked, surprised. Of course. Tal made a sound like laughter. It was our technology first. What? Hansol touched Jae-ho's shoulder. The neural sync was reverse-engineered from Vora biotechnology. They've used similar connections for centuries, but for a different purpose. We use it to share, not to control, Tal explained. Our technology was stolen during early contacts with humans. Your scientists changed it to work as a control device. Jaiho looked at Nabi, feeling sick. So the beasts are just slaves. That's the word, Hansol said quietly. A human doctor stepped forward. We've been working on a way to modify the neural sync, to make it what it was supposed to be, a connection between equals. Can you fix our bond? Jaiho asked. Make it strong again. We can do more than that, Tal said. We can transform it into a true Vora-style bond. A complete partnership. It's risky, the doctor warned. No human has tried this before. If it works, you and Nabi would share your minds completely. Not handler and beast, but two beings as one. If it fails, Jaiho asked, you could both die or lose your minds. Jaiho didn't hesitate. Do it. The procedure took hours. Jaiho lay next to Nabi, strange devices connected to both their heads. The pain was terrible, like fire in his brain. Then, suddenly, everything changed. Jaiho wasn't just feeling Nabi's thoughts. He was Nabi, and she was him. Their minds flowed together like water. He could feel her heart beating as if it were in his own chest. When it was over, Jaiho stood on shaky legs. But he wasn't just Jaiho anymore. And Nabi wasn't just Nabi. They were something new. It worked, Tal said, sounding amazed. A true bond. What now? Jaiho/Nabi asked, their thoughts so mixed that Jaiho wasn't sure if he'd spoken with his voice or if Nabi had somehow formed the words in his mind. Now Hansol said, we rescued the other beasts, starting with Su Min's friend, who is still held captive. Duri, Su Min whispered, they still have her. And then, Jaiho asked. Hansol's eyes were hard with determination. Then we stop a war and start our revolution. The academy looked different to Jaiho now. Once, its tall metal walls had seemed strong and safe. Now they looked like a prison. Are you ready? Hansol asked. She stood with 20 other humans and their beasts. Some were former handlers who had escaped. Others were scientists who had helped create the neural sync and now wanted to fix their mistake. We're ready, Jaiho said. He no longer needed to speak for Nabi. Their thoughts were one. Today was demonstration day at the academy. Government leaders and the public would watch new handlers show off their skills. It was the perfect time to act. Remember the plan, Hansol said. Get to the main control room. Broadcast the truth through the neural network. Every handler and beast in the academy will receive it. Jaiho nodded. Inside his mind, he could feel Nabi's determination mixing with his own. They moved through the forest that surrounded the academy. Su Min walked beside them. Her face was hard with anger. Since losing Duri, she had become a different person. I'll find her, she said, as if reading Jaiho's thoughts. And I'll free her. The first part of the plan worked perfectly. During the confusion of handlers arriving with their families, Jaiho, Nabi, and 5 others slipped into the academy through a service entrance that Hansol knew about. The control room is 3 levels up, Hansol said over their secure comms. We'll create a distraction in 5 minutes. Jaiho and Nabi moved quickly through the halls. Thanks to their perfect bond, they could sense anyone coming before they appeared. When guards approached, they hid in shadows or empty rooms. Then alarms sounded. Hansol's distraction had worked. All handlers report to the main arena. A voice said over the speakers, security breach in sectors 2 and 5. The halls emptied as handlers ran to respond. Jaiho and Nabi reached the control room door. It was locked. Together, Jaiho thought. Nabi understood. She smashed her powerful tail against the door. It dented but held. 2 more hits, and it broke open. Inside, 2 technicians looked up in shock. Before they could react, Jaiho used a stun device Hansol had given him. The technicians fell to the floor, unconscious but alive. Now Jaiho said, sitting at the main control panel. His time in the academy had taught him how the systems worked. He found the neural network controls and activated the broadcast function. This will let us send a message to every neural implant in the academy, he explained to Nabi, though she already knew through their shared mind. Jai-Ho placed a small device on his neural implant. It would boost their signal. Ready? He asked. Nabi sent warm feelings of agreement. Jai-Ho closed his eyes. Together, they pushed their consciousness into the neural network. Suddenly, they could feel hundreds of other minds, all the handlers and beasts in the academy. Instead of sending words, they sent truth. They showed the memories Nabi had shared with Jai-Ho, beasts living free before humans captured them. They showed how the neural sync was stolen from the Vora, who used it for partnership, not control. They showed the lies about the war, how human leaders had provoked it. Most importantly, they showed what a true bond felt like. Every handler and beast in the academy felt, for just a moment, what Jai-Ho and Nabi shared, complete unity, with neither controlling the other. In the main arena, chaos erupted. Many beasts, feeling the truth for the first time, broke free from their handlers' control. Some handlers, understanding at last what they had been part of, helped their beasts escape. Director Do-hyun's voice came over the speakers. Activate kill switches. All beasts must be contained. Jai-Ho's heart froze. Kill switches. Every beast had one implanted at birth. With a single command, Director Do-hyun could kill them all. Not today, Jai-Ho whispered. His fingers flew over the control panel, using access codes Hansol had stolen, overriding Kill Switch Network. The screen flashed. Kill Switch Network Disable LED. Suddenly, the door burst open. Young Jae stood there, his face twisted with anger. Traitor, he shouted at Jai-Ho. But behind Young Jae was his beast Kang, and in Kang's eyes, Jai-Ho saw something new. Understanding. Freedom. Kang looked at Young Jae, then at Jai-Ho and Nabi. He made his choice. With one gentle movement, Kang pushed Young Jae aside and joined Jai-Ho and Nabi. One by one, more handlers and beasts found the control room. Some came to fight. Others came to join. The revolution had begun. Outside, Hansol's voice came over the comms. We've taken the main gate. The public is watching. The truth is out. Jai-Ho smiled. He touched Nabi's scales, feeling her joy as his own. What now? Asked a young handler who had joined them. Jai-Ho looked at the growing group of humans and beasts, now standing together as equals. Now, he said, we build something better. Together.